Hey everybody, I'm here with part 1 of Path 5 of my Abyss unit and resource overview. Although this is the 5th path in progression usually for Abyss, this was the 4th path that I did for my Abyss run. The team used was Aegon, Doom, Void, Nick Fury, and Proxima Midnight. So the first fight on this path was Ironman Infinity War. I used Aegon, took 13 revives, I gained a combo of 455, and it cost 100 units. I had some revives in my stash, which were used to decrease the amount of units needed. Ironman Infinity War's Abyssal ability. Each time the defender is struck while under the effect of an armor up buff, they gain a charge lasting indefinitely. At 10 charges, the defender steals all of the attacker's current power. Tech champions are immune to ability accuracy modification and nullified, unless under the effect of an armor break debuff. At the start of the fight, gain an armor up buff. If it's removed, it will return after 15 seconds. The reform timer won't start while under the effect of an armor break debuff. This is a pretty standard fight for Aegon. The only thing to watch out for here is the power steal, and then at 15%, you've just got to be a little bit cautious of the power gain on Iron Man Infinity War. There are better options for this fight now, like Magneto, and I'm sure as time goes we'll find more and more better options for this fight. The next fight we had was Invisible Woman. For Invisible Woman, I used Nick Fury, took 5 revives, and cost 0 units, as I used revives from my stash. Invisible Woman's Abyssal ability. When the attacker or the defender fill a bar of power, the attacker is inflicted with a Power Sting passive for 15 seconds, which consumes itself, dealing 600 direct damage if the attacker launches a special attack before it expires. This Power Sting has plus 50% ability accuracy. Unless the defender is under the effects of a debuff when a Power Sting expires, the attacker receives a stun debuff lasting 5 seconds. The next opponent I faced was Hulk Ragnarok. For Hulk, I used Void. It took 13 revives, I used 1 health pot, and it cost a total of 388 units. Hulk Ragnarok's Abyssal ability. While below 25% health, Hulk is heal blocked and his special attacks become unblockable. Hulk cannot lose more than 10% of the opponent's base attack in health from a single strike. This fight can be somewhat luck dependent, so if you don't have good luck, the fight may not go very well for you at all. The next opponent I faced was Yellowjacket. For Yellowjacket, I used Nick Fury, took 8 revives, and no units were required as I used revives from my stash. Yellowjacket's Abyssal ability. While above 2 bars of power, Yellowjacket is power locked. He also has a high chance to launch special attacks. Each time he does so, he gains an efficiency charge which refunds 5% of the cost of all special attacks for the remainder of the fight. Now we'll have a look at some gameplay of Nick Fury versus Yellowjacket. For this fight, the 2 main things you want to look out for are to get Yellowjacket to 2 bars of power and build Nick Fury's tactical charges. Once you have enough tactical charges, Nick becomes unblockable and you can pin Yellowjacket against the wall, and then you just need to worry about his L2, which is much easier to evade rather than his L1. So long as you're good at evading Yellowjacket's L2, this is a pretty quick fight and relatively easy. The next fight was Mordo. For Mordo, I used Void, cost 8 revives, and I used 269 units. Mordo's Abyssal ability, every 10 buffs that expire or are nullified on the attacker, place a Fate Seal debuff on them, nullifying all their buffs and preventing more for 15 seconds. Removing this Fate Seal prior to it expiring deals 100% of the defender's attack as direct damage. The next fight was Mephisto. For Mephisto, I used Void again, took 3 revives, and I used 80 units. Mephisto's Abyssal ability is the same as Mordo's. Every 10 buffs that expire or are nullified on the attacker, place a Fate Seal debuff on them, nullifying all their buffs and preventing more for 15 seconds. Removing this Fate Seal prior to it expiring deals 100% of the defender's attack as direct damage. And that's it for part 1 of Path 5 of my Abyss unit and resource overview. Thanks for watching.